Hi, I'm Austin Harris. This is my fourth um, journal log for the Creative Journal, and today's lecture was probably one of the most interesting lectures we've had. We've only had three before this, but I I really took a lot of this personally today. Today we talked about um, creativity. We talked about um, teamwork. That was the main focus today. And we talked about opportunities um, and working together, stuff like that. One of the most important things we talked about today, I'm just going to jump into, um, is going to be teamwork and challenges. And we are going to be doing a lot of teamwork involved projects in this class, and I took a lot of notes, and I'll show them, but I also kind of wanted to talk about something that Professor talked about today regarding teamwork. For me personally, I feel like the challenge for me in this class is going to be putting aside my desire to control situations, uh, run ideas, or anything like that. Have my voice heard. Um, I'm going to have to be supportive, a good listener, and I'm going to have to overcome those challenges in order to be a good team member and a helpful asset to my team. I think that that is one of the things that is most important. This class is not about tests. It's not about assignments. I think this class is about learning things about life and taking it with you and carrying it with you throughout life. All of these things that we talked about today are important because every single one of us is going to have to deal with these in the workplace with coworkers, families, friends, everything. This is huge. Um, and one of the things that was a quote that I think is one of the best quotes I've heard in a while that Professor Venegas said today, and it's a small quote, but it has big words. You do not have to fight to win. And see, that hit me hard because, first reaction is, oh, I want everyone to like what I say and use my ideas, and you want to run the situation, you want to control things, but in reality, you'll be so much more successful from being a good supporter um, than you would by fighting over what idea to use or, um, you know, who's in control of the situation. Today we talked about creativity and opportunities as well, and I think that that's pretty important. I see this so much already in life, and I'm only 21. I can only imagine how much more I'm going to see it as I get older. But we watched an escalator video. It was kind of a funny video on YouTube, and this YouTube video was about these two people working, and I guess they're coworkers, I assume, and they're going up an escalator, and the escalator stops, and it like breaks or shuts down or something. And it's as if these people's feet are glued to the escalator because they do not move, they do not walk the extra distance, they just manage to not do anything and just stay there. And the whole video is about the dramaticness of the escalator stopping and that being the end of the world. Like they can't, walk the extra distance or anything like that, and they end up staying there for this ridiculous amount of hours and everything just because the escalator's broken. Like it's ridiculous. But the theme for this video, I think, is do not wait on opportunity and end up missing out on success. This is huge because every single day it's like I hear somebody say it'll work out, it'll happen, I'll get a job. They expect to get out of college making $300,000 a year. It'll happen, it'll work out. I'm not worried about it. I don't understand that. I don't. Because I feel like opportunity is created through being involved. I mean, joining a club, that club may lead that may lead to you getting a job from somebody, and it may be the career you stick with the rest of your life just because you joined that one club, and that created an opportunity for you for that job, and you weren't even thinking about it. The opportunity, um, waiting on it to come along, and missing out on success because of that, I think is one of the biggest problems in the world today. People say, "Oh, I want to be a professional basketball player," and they're waiting on the opportunity to come their way with somebody to offer them, "Oh, would you like to come play for the Houston Rockets?" No, it just doesn't work like that. You have to do what you love. You have to seek opportunity, and if it works out, you know, it works out. You find the success. And one of the other themes that we talked about today was do not stay in the box in reference to innovation and creativity. Get outside of the box. We have to think. The unknown is a huge motivator. If we have a problem, finding the solution. That is why so many people are successful today. Steve Jobs and Michael Dell and all these people that came up with these innovative products. I'm sure they didn't sit around and stay inside the box of creativity. I'm sure they had plenty of people tell them that whatever they were trying to do wasn't possible, that they were wasting their time and all these different things. But now they're some of the most wealthy people in the world and the most successful as well. They have changed our world today. Almost every single person has Apple products. Everybody, uses, some kind of HP or Dell or, something, it's ridiculous how much somebody can change the world by thinking outside of the box. And I think that's an important note to take from today. We also talked about team development stages. The first one would be inclusion concerns. Will I be accepted? That's something I already talked about. It's important to me to be accepted and my group to like what I'm saying and like my ideas. Control concerns is the second. Who's in control? Usually I like to kind of delegate things, and I need to take a back seat in this course and this lecture and all these different things, and be a supporter, be a listener, be everything that my team needs me to be, and that'll help us be successful. Affiliation concerns is the third, and what that is who are we as a group, which I think is so much more important, because you take 5 people and you tell them, okay, you're all 5 different people, but if you come together as one, you're going to be so much more successful. Each person has different skills, different interests, and everything that make them an asset to the team. Synergy concerns. How can we maximize creativity? This is important because I feel like this class is going to be very much based on creativity, thinking outside the box. And I feel like life's a lot about that too. And not just job-wise, but just not creating limitations for yourself, which I feel like a lot of people do. Symptoms to groupthink. The first one would be overestimating of group. The second one would be closed-mindedness, which I feel like is a huge problem with, coworkers and group members. Everybody only cares about what they think and their personal opinions, and they don't want to be open to other people's ideas because they feel like theirs is better. That's a problem. That's a handicap that we all have to get over and in order to be successful as a team and achieve our goals. Uniformity pressures and being one team instead of 5 individuals is going to be monumental in regards to the success that this group desires to have. We need to do whatever it takes to hit the bullseye. Life is a moving target. Do not get stuck on the escalator. We need to keep all these things in mind while we're seeking success. We need to remember that as a whole, we are so much more powerful than if we are just, caring about our own personal lives. If we show up for a group meeting and you're on your phone texting, and I'm not paying attention to what you're saying because I'm involved in whatever I'm doing, then I'm not helping us be a good team. And that's going to be huge. Being supportive of each other. There's no stupid idea. It would just be stupid of us to shoot down and hurt other people's feelings. Because one idea that we don't use may lead to one that we do use. The learning personas, 3, are anthropologists, dealing with people and the interactions of people. Experimenter, I could see that being important with coming up with ideas and seeing what would play off better and work out better in the end, outcome-wise. Cross-pollinator, just being a jack of all trades. The organizing personas, the hurdler, the collaborator, and the director. I feel like these are just kind of roles that everybody's going to have to take. Everybody's going to have a persona in this group. And I think personally mine will be a collaborator. I think I'm going to be, I'm going to do my best to be a supportive role, being whatever my team needs me to be. If they need me to delegate, I'm going to delegate. If they need me to sit, listen, and support, I'm going to sit, listen, and support. Because I want to be successful, and I know that they all want to be successful too, and that is way more important than any silly self-pride that would come from your idea being used or being in charge or something ridiculous like that. The building personas, the first one would be the experienced architect, and I'm sure one person will have that. The set designer, somebody will probably be good at delegating and setting the stage, getting us a room to meet together in, and if they don't, then I take that role. The caregiver, an example of that's bringing candy to the group to spark our creative inner mind, or asking people, caring about them, not just being a group but caring about each other, because that's going to help us mesh better in the end. Team norms, establish goals, identify and attract talent, define and create interdependencies, and how teams make decisions. I think those are all important, obviously, and these are all things that we're going to have to go through as a team, but we're going to have to overcome any challenges that come our way as well. We're going to have to establish these goals. We're going to have to identify and attract the talent. For example, if somebody's good at one thing, we need to make sure that they're well appreciated, and we use their talent for that particular thing. Define and create interdependencies. We need to definitely each have a persona and each have a role, and be supportive of each person's role. When we make decisions, we need to make decisions as a team, and not be have one person controlling the entire situation. And I think that one of the most important things with working with groups is the relationship that you have with them, and treating them the way that you would want to be treated, because I think that will have better results in the end. A quote that I'm going to end on that Professor Venegas said today that I think is extremely important, and I hope I don't butcher it too much, but this is essentially what it said. People will forget what you said, or when you said it, and even what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. I think that's pretty important, folks, because I feel like if we choose to treat people badly, or put them down because we don't agree with their thought process or anything along those lines, then it is going to hurt us and handicap us and prevent us from being successful in life or in this course.